Good morning, YouTube. Well, it's been like 3 weeks since we've been back, or since we've been working on this, and that's because we went to Colorado. You should see some videos of that. So, when we left last, we were fighting our stringers, and time did not help us any, because one of the things that we were fighting is the fact that when we cut out the notches in the stringers, the board already started to bow on us and was pinching the saw, and time has made that even worse. So whoa, if you can see down those, they're both bowed decent amount. So as of right now, these are going to be construction stairs, and if they do not, we're going to try to put a brace in the middle underneath them, down low, like a little wall. And if it does not get any better, then we are just going to replace them after we get everything else done. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So let's see, where can I put you for today? Another thing that we're fighting a bit, and I wish I would have figured out before, is oh, let me get in here. Everything's wet because it rained yesterday, so it's going to be hot and muggy today. Okay, so underneath here we have our rim joists. Or not our rim joists, our ledger board. So there's our LVL. And those LVLs were poured in with the concrete, and then they were left for months as we were working on getting everything in the winter and everything else. And when we were measuring everything to put our hanger joists on to make sure that we were good, and it came out on the laser level to be pretty dang accurate all the way around. But what we didn't realize is that the top of those ledgers was canted up a bit, and we should have paid more attention to that. So we were measuring to the front edge, which was, down a bit, instead of the back edge, which was popped up. And so what happened is we got this gap. It's not bad, but it's bad enough that I don't want to lay tile there without putting some self-leveling, right? Well, that's also making this first step. If we measure off of here, we're going to be high. If we measure off here, we're going to be low. So I think I'm going right in the middle to get my first step, and then put the step level, and then figure out what to do with this later. I might sand a little bit of this down. I'd have to rent a big sander in order to do that. I could do it with the belt sander, but it'd probably take a full day to get it to where it needs to be, but I don't know how long it'd take. So anyway, yeah, we're fighting that too. All right. Okay, so all right, well, It's not the best, but it's going to work for now. So of course our safety rail is just what 2x4s were so bent that we couldn't use them for anything else, so we decided to use them for this. But let's go take a look at what we did here. We have steps. That's good. Okay. So yeah, these are temporary. We're going to replace them at some point, but it'll be a couple of years probably, so they'll work for now. What we finally did, do we still have our string on here? I don't know if I think I videoed this already. So we took a string, put a screw 1 inch up from the bottom edge, and then all the way down at the bottom, we put a screw 1 inch up from the bottom edge, and then put a screw in the middle 1 inch up from the bottom edge, except this one, those two were wrapped around and pulled tension on, and then we used this one to push up on our joist because it was bowed like this, so the bottom was down. And then we did that on both sides. There's the mark, even though we took the screw out. And then we just came back and we built this wall, little jack wall with a sloping top, and we tried to hammer it in there. We beat it in with the sledge and framing hammer until those were tight. And then these guys were actually being pushed that way a lot because these were the worst ones. These were actually the ones laying up on top. And they were so warped that we're still not there, right? If you can see, in this partly can be the cut of that particular tread, but if you can see, there's a gap under there. So we're just gonna shim that up for now. We put the level across and tried to jack this thing up until the level was flat across multiple steps. So it's good enough for now, but definitely not good. I'm not happy with it, but what you can do, it'll let us get in and out for now, and then we'll probably come back and actually put LVLs. I mean, hell, they're even canted this way. Anyway, they work for now. LVLs in the future. So now, the next step before we start putting blocks on is to. So we ran our subfloor, tried to run it in a continuous sheet out over, and we poured some Sakrete in here, but now that is starting to warp up, so we're getting ready to Tapcon those down all the way across. So here we go.
I just did it because it was hot. And then he's down on there, I was like, oh man.
All right, so this is the bedroom door. This is a big slider. Same thing.
Go out and around. Okay. Or at least back through. Good.
All right, so on this one, since we had our original line coming straight through here, all the way down, that was our first line of subfloor that we put on. This one kind of bridges that, and we pounded it back. We pounded it back into the tongue and groove, so that's good. But it's not a continuous piece, which I would rather it be a continuous piece, but it is. It worked out how it worked out. Okay, we're still good. I think we're back. We're all the way to the tongue. We just need to get it secured. And then we're going to have a hump there that we're just going to have to sand out, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Okie dokie. That's it, right?
Nope.
Huh?
One more door.
Where?
Right here.
Oh, we didn't do that one.
Where did you go?
All right, enough of that.